right, so I want to talk to you two about our women, okay? Because us men coming out here don't mean nothing if we don't get our women to rise up with us. All right, so I want you to start with Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 30. All right. Okay, so we're going to talk about interracial marriage and if it's helping our people or if it's oppressing our people. All right, because we don't see a lot of strong black families representing our people and what a strong black family looks like, because before you can have a strong nation of people, you have to have strong families. Okay, you have, and before we can have strong black and Hispanic and Native American families, we have to have what? Our people have to honor what? Right, honoring marriage with each other in our own race. Okay, so read that.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 30.
I'm a seller, I can't throw that away.
Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her.
Okay, so right now he's reading some of the curses that have kept our people in a low and in an oppressed state. It said, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. When did that start with us, sis? You. Okay, in the beginning of what?
When, I guess in the beginning of Genesis.
Okay, so I'm talking a little bit more about recent history right here. So in slavery, in our slavery here in the United States, okay, was a slave allowed to have an honorable marriage? They weren't. Okay, so our sisters are still walking around, and our brothers too, with the slave mindset when they think, well, we're all equal. Why can't I marry into other races and build up strong families with the other races? Meanwhile, his own race is struggling to have strong families. We're cursed with single parent households. Okay, so the slave master didn't allow the slaves to have an honorable marriage. Okay, it was the job of the slave man and the slave woman to have sex with whoever the slave master said to have sex with. Give me Deuteronomy 23 and verse 17. Okay, and because that slavery happened, because that happened in slavery today, our women have lowered their standards extremely. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 23 verse 17. There shall be no whore.
There shall be no what?
There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
Okay, so our women are precious in the sight of the God of our forefathers. But whoredom is when our sisters no longer have any value for their own bodies, and they don't honor their bodies with marriage with their own husband. Read on.
Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
And as you saw when Barack Obama was in office, he legalized what? Homosexual marriages. Okay, and what that does is put the imagery in our heads that homosexuality is honorable. Right. And what that does to our men is it keeps our men from being strong. It portrays them as effeminate, and it portrays them as weak, and it proves that our men are not strong enough to protect their households and to raise up strong sons after them. Okay, read on.
Verse 18. Thou shalt not bring the hair of a whore.
It says, thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore. Okay, so God is about to give a parable of the standards that our women have brought themselves low to. All right, read on.
Or the price of a dog.
Of the price of a what?
A dog.
Some of our women have lowered their standards to the price of a dog. Okay, I don't even want to imagine that right now. Okay, but when our women marry into the other races and nations of people, they are lowering their standards to the price of a dog. I ain't gonna lie, sis. Even our own men can be compared to dogs. Okay, when you strutting your stuff in tight skinny jeans and yoga pants, you are telling the dogs, those are the unbelieving men, and those are the other nations, you're telling them I'm free game. You're telling them that I'm a whore. Come holler at me. That's the image that you're putting out there when our women lower their standards and dress like that. A dog can be bought for the cheap, but our women are supposed to be priceless. Give me Proverbs 31, verse 10. our women are supposed to be more valuable and more priceless than any other nation of women on this planet right here.
That's right.
All right, but we have forgotten that because slavery has made our women cheap. Okay, but our women are not cheap. Our women cannot be bought. Okay, and that's what the Bible says. Read.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
So it's hard to find a virtuous black woman today because of what happened in slavery. All right, it's hard to find that. Read.
For her price is far above rubies.
A handful of rubies can cost millions of dollars. God says our women are supposed to be priceless.
That's right.
Priceless. Okay, the meaning they can't be bought. Okay, so we're out here. One of the things we're out here to do is to teach our women to raise their standards back up to that priceless standards. And so you're supposed to be looking to be married to priceless men who are the sons of God. Give me Tobit chapter 4 and verse 12. Raise your standards to marry the men of God, to build up strong households with the men of God. Leave these men in the streets alone. Leave these other nations alone. All right? Read that when you got it in Tobit chapter 4. Verse 12. Okay, so God has a standard for our women and for our men because like I said before, a strong marriage builds a strong family and strong families build up a strong nation of people.
That's right.
All right, read.
The book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Read it again.
Tobit chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son.
So he's giving them a warning. We just talked about the commandment where God said, thou shalt not don't turn our women into whores. Our men do that a lot today, but Tobit is giving his son some good advice. And what I like about this right here is we have a father in the household. That's something we don't have today. That's something we need more fathers to give their sons advice like this. Don't whore out your women, son. These are our women. They're priceless. Don't turn them into the price of a dog. Read it.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
Because that's the commandment and that's the tradition, that's the culture that our God, the God of our fathers, gave to us. Okay, he says, marry the people of thine own race. Okay, build up strong families amongst your own people. Okay, why? Read.
And take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophet.
He said, the reason I told you to marry within your own race is because we are a royal lineage of the children of the prophets. It makes no sense for royalty to go out and marry servants. That makes no sense. You are the princesses of God, sis. You need to marry the princes of God. Okay? Was that verse 12 or was that verse 13 you just read?
12 still.
Okay, read on to verse 13.
Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed.
And were what?
And were blessed in their children.
So God does not bless interracial marriages. He only blesses those who marry within their own race. Why? Because they're trying to build up their race. They're trying to build up their people. All right, get me 1 Ezra chapter 8, start at verse 84. Okay, that I like going to here because it further expounds on why it's beneficial to our people, okay, to marry within their own race. Okay, okay, go ahead and read it if you got it.
The book of 1 Ezra chapter 8, verse 84. Therefore now shall ye not join your daughters unto their sons, neither shall ye take their daughters unto your sons.
Okay, like we just said, like God has been saying, he don't like interracial marriage. Why? Read.
Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them.
Oh, read that again.
Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them.
That means don't try to make a treaty with them and give your daughters to their sons. The Native Americans was doing that. White people came over here, they made treaties, they gave their daughters to their sons, they gave their sons and their daughters to their people, and what happened? He broke every treaty. Okay, that's why the scripture says, never trust thine enemy, because he's not trying to build you up, because you are not his people. He's trying to take advantage of you.
That's right.
Okay, read on till you get verse 85.
That ye may be strong.
Okay, why does he say not to have peace with them?
That ye may be strong.
Strength comes from building up your own nation of people.
That's right.
Okay, read to verse 85.
And eat the good things of the land, and that ye may leave the inheritance of the land unto your children.
Okay, so that you can leave the inheritance of your land to your children. Okay, we can't help our people. Excuse me. We cannot help our people by leaving our people. All right, if you keep the inheritance within your own race, within your own family, you have something to pass down to your children other than poverty. You'll have riches to pass down to your children. White people, they have inheritances for their children. They have college funds for their children. We're the ones that don't have nothing to pass on to our children except single parent households and poverty. Okay, is that it?
Yes.
Was that verse 85?
Yeah, that was 85.
Okay. Now I want you to get me Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. Okay, two or three more scriptures to expound on why we should not be marrying or mingling with the other nations of people, because it's not beneficial to our people. Okay, read Deuteronomy 7 verse 3.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his sons, nor his daughters shalt thou take unto thy sons.
So the Lord is saying the same thing, but now he's about to give yet another reason why we shouldn't do interracial marriage. Read.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
It's a trap. It is a trap. So by saying that, okay, we're all equal now, so you can marry with our people now, they're keeping you from focusing on your own people.
That's right.
Okay? And they don't want us to stay separate from them, because as long as we stay separate with them, as long as we stop thinking that I'm equal with them, okay, as long as we stop doing that, we can be strong.
Right.
We can be strong. So let me ask you something. Why do y'all think that they push equal rights in the 60s? Because in the 60s, what was happening, we were pushing to be separate from them.
Right.
Okay? So why do you think they push equal rights?
I think it's because they are inferior of us. We know what we, not everybody, but we know there are some of us that do know what we are capable of.
Oh, she hit the hammer on the nail. Our sister said the reason why a white man likes when we push equal rights is because it makes us feel like we were inferior to them, but now we can be equal to them, when it's the opposite. We're supposed to be better than them. But they got us thinking I was inferior, and now, niggas, we made it. We equal to the rest of them. Read on. Okay, so the other nations, they hate us because, correct, we are above all them. God made us above all of them. Read.
That's right.
That they may serve other gods.
Okay, so we marry, let's say a black man marries into the white nation. Guess who the white people are serving? A white Christ, a false Christ.
Bring it up.
Now we gotta make peace with them. Now we gotta accept their gods, and now we're committing idolatry. Read on.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly.
Remember, it's a trap, so by keeping us accepting their gods, it keeps us from being a strong nation of people. Read on.
But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images.
Okay, destroying their altars, breaking down their images, meaning I don't want to wear no necklace with no cross on it.
That's right.
I don't want to wear no necklace with no Egyptian god on it. I don't want to do none of that. I don't want to have peace with you. I'm busy building up my own people. I'm busy getting our own culture back. I'm busy making sure that we are strong without you. Read on.
And cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire.
So sister, when you go home, don't just put that necklace in a drawer somewhere. Throw it in the garbage so they can go into the landfill and it can be burned with fire. Okay. Okay, so we heard the commandment right here. It says, read.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
This is why the other nations hate us. This is why they say, oh, y'all should marry with us, because they don't want us to be above them. They want us to feel like we've come down to their level. Read on.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Give me Joshua 23. So remember, sis, remember the Bible just said earlier that we are the children of the prophets, meaning that we are a royal seed. Okay, we are a royal seed. Okay, it's not good for royalty to come down and marry servants. Okay, what you need is a prince. You don't need to marry a servant. What these men need are princesses. They don't need to marry the servants of the other nations. And just to help, we can prove that the other nations are supposed to be our servants. But before that, I want verse 12. We're going to go to Joshua 23 verse 12 to make the last point on interracial marriages. Read.
The book of Joshua, chapter 23, verse 12. Else, if ye do in any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them.
So even though we have to live among the other nations because we're in captivity, he says still don't make marriages with them. And if you do, read.
And go in unto them, and there unto you, know for a certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive out any of these nations from before you.
Because they know that if they keep us marrying and mingling with them and breaking God's laws and worshiping their gods, we cannot overcome. It don't matter if we march on Washington singing, we shall overcome. They say, oh, y'all think y'all gonna overcome? Watch this. Let's get them to marry with us. Let's get them to think they're down to our level. Let's get them to worship our gods. And we haven't overcome to this day. Have we overcome to this day, sis?
No.
We have not overcome yet. We have not overcome yet, but we're working on that. This is why the prophets are out here right now. Read on.
But there shall be snares and traps.
Oh my goodness. Read that again.
But there shall be snares and traps.
So God himself, out of his own mouth, said that it is a trap. Interracial marriage is a trap for our people.
Now they will see the treatment of God. We are not black men, we are Israelites. Take care of us. And our children too. And our children too. We have repented. We have repented. How are you? How are you? People want to know who's the king.
O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.